What would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail? Hello, I'm Amelia, and I believe we shouldn't let fear prevent us from living our life to the fullest. I'm a person who often lets fear limit me. When faced with something that scares me, I get very anxious. It happens with a lot of things, like walking across a tightrope or tubing or being interviewed for high school. I can't seem to turn it off. When I'm hit with a wave of anxiety and fear, I freeze. My breathing gets fast and my throat tightens. I feel the pounding of my heart, dread of having to do something risky, embarrassment that I feel this way, and irrational panic that I will be hurt or will die, something that would not really happen. All this makes it hard to think of a way to get through my fear. All I can do is run away from it as fast as possible. And even if the problem has a solution, which they almost always do, I can't seem to find it easily. My fear stops me from doing challenging things that I would otherwise enjoy, that make life more interesting and fun. Once, I went skiing in Tahoe. I hadn't skied for a while, and I was nervous. I thought maybe I would fall and hurt myself, or embarrass myself, or something crazy. I mostly ignored my anxiety, but it was present enough to always make me doubt myself. One hill I went down was steep, much too steep for my comfort. I froze, and I couldn't get down. Now, it sounds silly, like I was being ridiculous, and I was, but in the end, I couldn't do it, and I was ashamed of myself and my fear. In the fall, my class and I went to St. Dorothy's Rest. One of the major things we were going to do there was go on a ropes course. I was really excited and determined to make it through. On part of the course, I had to climb up a tall tree using metal footholds. Watching my other classmates climb up made me nervous, and when it was my turn, my muscles were quaking. But I really wanted to succeed, so I started climbing up the tree, feeling fairly confident. Around 3/4 of the way up, I looked down. I was so much higher than I thought. I started to doubt myself, wondering if I could really do this. That's not a good thing to feel when you're trying to succeed in anything, but especially when it feels like you are miles above the forest floor. My classmates were telling me that I was doing great, urging me on, and with enormous force of will, I listened to them. I kept going. When I reached the tightrope at the top, I had to contort my body in an awkward way to get on. Then and there, one step away from being done, I stopped. I immediately knew it would be too hard, and I broke. I unleashed all my pent-up emotions, all the worry, anxiety, dread, and doubt, which seemed to come in the form of sobbing. I told my classmates I wanted to get down, and they supported me, telling me I'd gone really far, and that they were proud of me. They said it was all right to leave. But I really didn't want to. This challenge was something I'd really looked forward to, something I really wanted to achieve. In between sobs, I swung my leg and hoisted myself onto the tightrope in one quick motion. That was all it took. One moment of clarity, and the hardest part was over. I eventually finished the course. I was still nervous, but always got through. And when I reached the end, and my classmate handed me the ceremonial piece of bark off a tree at the end of the tightrope, I grinned. It was an amazing feeling, getting through my doubts and dark clouds. It took a lot of individual strength and determination, and it had also taken help from my friends and classmates, pushing me and supporting me the whole way. Last year, I was moved down off my old lacrosse team, which was a B team, and put on the C team. I was a starting defender, so the rejection caught me off guard. I became unconfident in my lacrosse skills. The thing I wanted most in the world was to redeem myself at tryouts the next year and show the coaches that I was good enough to get my spot back. I worked really hard and improved a lot, and the coaches said I deserved to be on the better team. I went into tryouts in January hopeful and ready, and at tryouts I played well. I thought I was in. I wasn't in. This made my self-esteem drop low. I knew I couldn't play on the C team again. I didn't want to do anything ever again. But my parents found a brand new team I could try out for, and the tryouts were that weekend. I really didn't want to go. I thought that I would never get on a good lacrosse team again. But my parents pushed me to go, so I did, and I got on the team. And now, looking back, it was one of the best decisions I made because I get to play on a competitive, talented team with people who will push me to get better and coaches who care. But it never would have happened without my parents, who pushed me through my worry and fear and allowed me this amazing opportunity. In the biblical passage that Daria read for us, Jesus tells his disciple Peter to walk on the water towards him. Peter steps onto the water, and because of his faith in Jesus and his own ability, he miraculously can walk on the water as if it was a solid floor. But then he starts to get nervous, doubting his own ability and the ability of God. He loses hope and he falls into the water. Jesus saves him and tells him to never lose faith in himself and the Lord. When Peter lost faith in God and his own ability, he failed. Yet in the beginning, when Peter was strong and confident, he was able to succeed. This relates to the concept of fear. We get nervous and doubt ourselves, and because of all the internal psyching out we do, we lose faith in ourselves and others. But when we know we can achieve the thing facing us, we can do great things. I began this talk with a quote by Robert H. Schuller. What would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail? This idea is very inspiring. It is encouraging and safe to know that we can never fail or be hurt. But we don't need a safeguard that will make sure we will never fail, and we also will never get one in life. However, if we have confidence, courage, and perseverance, we can all accomplish our goals, and will fail much less than we expected to. We all need to have faith in God to watch over us and our friends and family to support us. But most importantly, we need to understand that we are all capable and able to achieve great things. Nothing but ourselves and our own worry is holding us back. I know I'm not the only one who gets apprehensive or panicked or petrified. Peter and I aren't the only ones who lose faith sometimes. Everyone does. But we have to keep trying, and eventually we will conquer anything in our paths. But most importantly, we need to give support and lift each other up so we can all reach our highest potentials as individuals and communities. Thank you.